Nikki, and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, hey, hi, hello. And if you are returning, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. So when you see this, it will be exactly 1 month since I uploaded a video. And to some of you, you may have thought your girl just disappeared, like fell off the face of the earth kind of thing. If you didn't see my previous video, then you absolutely think I just gave up on the channel. And I did not. In my previous video, I did a quick update. It wasn't like, forever long. It may have been maybe 5 minutes, but it was just kind of showing you guys why you hadn't seen me. Did I expect to be gone for a full month? No, but I had to do what I had to do because family definitely comes first. So quick recap. In the early part of February, my husband and I, along with our children, traveled back to Virginia, where we're from. And we had a family emergency that resulted in a death. And that kind of shook me a little bit. It was expected, but it wasn't expected, right? The person in my family was an older person. So it wasn't necessarily a, no, like, I can't believe this happened kind of a thing. It was more of, wow, we're at this place in my life where you're transitioning and my life is going to be different because of that. It's hard to process things when things happen randomly, and it's hard to process things when you just know they'll be different, even though you know at some point it's coming, right? So I got the call that she wasn't doing well, and that she was gonna be transported to the hospital. I'm like, oh, what, like, what we talking about, right? But I didn't jump the gun. It's cool. So I'm just like on standby at this point. And I'm just kind of preparing my husband and the kids, like, this could be happening. We could be leaving. So I just want to put that in everybody's ear. So, we kind of know what's up. So I'm like, well, keep me updated. It is what it is. So it comes back that she has pneumonia and some type of like infection. Nothing like crazy, maybe like a UTI, like very something that feels light. I'm a little relieved and I'm like, okay. That's not the worst thing I've heard. So they keep her because again, she's older. So I'm like, cool, but as long as it's not like, rah, it's all good. I get another call. This time it's giving, they want the family to gather. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Gather what? Gather what? What are we saying? Right? At this point, my brain is absolutely like, so I already had my kids and my husband like go through things, pack up stuff, whatever, so we can be ready whenever we needed to be ready. Get the call. I'm on the road. Okay. I'm in the car, like, period. So on the way, I'm on the phone with my mother who went up to the hospital and she had us on video. And I say us, as in my siblings. She turned the camera so we could see. And my girl just was not looking. She just wasn't looking like I needed her to look. Okay. And it's rough to even think back on it. Just remembering what she looked like and how tired her body looked. But as I was writing, I just kept saying, just be cool until I get there. Just let me get there. And I probably got there around 7 p.m. No. I got there before that. 4 something, maybe 4:30. About 4:30 I got there. I went through all the protocol or whatever to get into the hospital so I can get into the room. I got there. She was still holding on, but not very responsive. So I just stayed by her side and, just rubbed her forehead and just looked at her, just prayed, because my goal isn't to play God. She lived a whole life, good 81 years on here earth. So I'm not selfish enough to be like, do everything. If my girl is in pain and they have to keep her medicated to where she can't even sit up, stay up, nothing. then what are we doing here, right? But my heart was happy because she was still pumping when I got there. Her numbers was going up. It was giving, we gonna be all right. So I stayed with her for some hours. I left, and the next day she was being transported to hospice. In my head, I'm like, hey, that's a step up because, from hospital to at least somewhere where she can kind of recover. You know what I'm saying? It's good. So I went over to the place where she would be. I toured the room, like looked around, made sure everything was cool. I met the nurses, all the things. She got transported. I was like, cool. The nurse was like, she called me and she was like, she's here. And, we got her as comfortable as we can make her. And so I'm like, that's what's up. Then I want to say 2 days later, I don't think it was more than 2 days, I got a phone call from the nurse, maybe 11 a.m. And she was like, hey, you might want to come because she's deteriorating really quickly. I'm like, what are you saying? Because like in my mind, like knowing that her numbers had went up and, she seemed like she was doing okay, right? I couldn't process the quickness. So I was like, what are you saying? And I said, okay. At the time, my husband was out, so I didn't have the vehicle to just go and see her right at that second. And I was in another city. Maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes had passed. And I got another phone call. And that phone call I missed because I had to, do stuff. Don't be my business, okay? I had to do stuff and I missed the call. A minute later, my mom received a phone call. And as I am drying off my hands, she's answering the call. And it's the call. My heart sunk into my toes. Oh my God, my heart was beating out of my chest, okay? Like out of my chest. Because I couldn't believe that someone who has been around, who was with me my whole life is gone. Like, what you mean? What you mean? And I'm not really someone who grieves right away. I literally am the kind of person who will make it through everything. I'll make it through the planning. I'll make it through the service. I'll make it through everything. And then it can be a month later. It can be 3 months later. And then it all kind of rushes me and I'm beside myself. Like, I can't believe this is a thing. I know I probably didn't owe you guys a huge explanation, but I did want to touch on it so that you knew that my disappearance wasn't just me giving up on the channel or that I walked away from the channel, but just to let you know that, life happened and I dealt with it in the best way that I could. I still tried to show up at some point for you guys, but ultimately I needed to take that time to spend with my family, walk through grief, with my children, and just all the things. So there's my little explanation. Bow. So let's fast forward so I can tell you guys what's next or what's to come. So from this video forward, you will see me more girl chats, maybe some vlogging, and yeah, you just never know with me, I might just pop live one day like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's with it? What we doing? But if you are still here, thank you. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for just realizing that I am a human, that life does happen. And when it's about family, you just got to shut it all down. Okay. Thank you for sticking it out with me. And if this is your introduction to the Chantè Diaries, baby, welcome in. Okay. I'm sorry. It was such a heavy episode for your first time, but welcome. This is what, the Chantè Diaries is all about. We're all about being honest and, letting you know that life be happening. This isn't a sugar-coated channel by any means. We talk about the talk, okay? But we still keep it Christ-like, right? Like, you're not gonna catch me doing crazy things over here, but honest and real things. For those of you who know my other channel, Grow in the Spirit Daily, I definitely have posts over there. I've been over there more frequently, so definitely check those videos out. If you're not subscribed, please do. And yeah, I appreciate you for that. Well, what else do I need to tell you guys? I think that's it. Next week will not be this heavy, okay? We're going to be back in rotation. And yeah, can't wait for you to meet me here. So until next Thursday, you guys. Bye.